Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, by you know, luck of the draw, if other people signed up, then it would be more than that, but it's not. So
Okay, well, I need to have a disclaimer up front that
okay,
I have absolutely no ability in any visual arts at all, which is
oh,
why I
great.
thought, oh, this would be fun.
Brilliant. Well, then
But I was kind of hoping I could just like let some other people, you know.
okay. Well, I've got my pen, and I'll do what I can because I just enjoy it, and I'll talk you through
Okay.
the technology. Are you? I'm going to go a bit blank now because I'm going to look at the drawing instead of looking at Zoom.
Okay.
And so I'm going to imagine that you're doing the same.
So you want me to get onto that other website that you sent me?
Yes, please. So you shouldn't have to leave Zoom. It's just you'll be on that as well.
Okay, I've got to. How do I do that? I go out of full screen, I guess.
You look like you're in. You've got a logo of a little mouse with pink ears.
I did open it up beforehand.
Okay.
Just got to find where it is. I've got a lot of stuff open here. All right. I'm just going to do this for a second. There we go. Okay, now I've got you in the corner and
Oh, good. Okay. That's very
I can move you. Okay.
I should do that. Haven't worked out how to do that.
Okay, good.
Right. So then what we're doing on here, I'll talk you through. You've probably had a little look around, so you know roughly what you've got. But on the top left, there are three words: file, edit, and view.
I see.
And under view, 4 down is fit on screen. So you can definitely see the whole picture that way.
Okay.
And on the left are the different drawing tools. And the main ones probably are the pencil and just below it, the pen. The brush.
There's one called eyedropper. Then
Oh, yeah.
pencil and brush. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they're just below. And then over on the right, you get to choose whatever color you like, of course. But importantly, down at the bottom on the right, there are 4 layers, and it looks as if you have got layer number 4 because your color, your mouse's color, is next to it, and I've got layer number 3 because I've got blue.
Okay.
And you can claim one of the others. We can add more as well, but it's interesting to see what's on top and what's beneath. I mean, it's almost like drawing on tracing paper.
Okay.
So if I go on the bottom layer 1, what were you thinking we could draw? I mean, have you got any ideas at all? And if you hadn't got any ideas, you can have an idea right now.
Well, can I tell you, I'm just a bit stuck with my writing, and I thought maybe if I stopped that and just tried to draw, that might sort of free things up. And
Brilliant.
The thing I'm stuck on is a man who's just woken up in the morning and is facing a new day. I don't know if that's too hard to draw.
So he's a bit bleary-eyed. And is he happy about this new day?
No, he wakes up thinking he's heard a gunshot.
Ah, okay. So he's quite surprised.
Yeah. Yeah. Alert. He wakes sudden. Yeah.
Sort of jolting himself up in bed. Okay.
Are you doing this with a mouse?
I'm using this little pen thing, which I've treated myself to, which cost me a bit extra, but I did do it very happily for months with a mouse. So I recommend that you just dive in and start adding to it.
Okay.
Even if you
so if I touch the pen over here, the paintbrush.
Yeah, and then choose whatever
color. Now pick a color.
Yeah.
So what if I go for something dark?
And remember, you're drawing on top of me, so which is great. I'm very happy with that. But just so that you know, you can obliterate what I'm drawing. You can add to it. You can do whatever you like, and I can underdraw.
Okay.
Which is a different plus. So he thinks he's heard a gunshot.
So I'm trying to draw a cupboard, and it's looking a bit wonky.
Oh, good. Well, don't draw a straight one. That would be very boring.
Okay. Well, I'll see if I can put some coat hangers in there.
Does he have a window nearby?
Yes, he's got a big door out into the sea.
Oh, right, okay.
Like this
Over
big
there.
glass door.
Ah, okay, great. So there's sea
Right.
out there.
Yes, it's dawn and it's the sea.
Ah, brilliant.
Uh,
Oops, that's not the colour I was after.
just get rid of that. His wife's in bed beside him. That's what I'm trying to.
Ah, great.
He's asleep though. I don't.
So she's just sleeping over the whole thing.
She's asleep.
And what's the difficulty you're having?
Well, it's just he gets up. It's kind of the beginning. I think you read an earlier bit, and this is so it's 4 years later, and we're introducing him, and it's been war for 4 years, and their marriage has got a bit stale, and
Right.
so it's how to have any action when what he's just done is woken up yet again feeling afraid,
Right.
and going out onto the veranda, and it just feels passive. Yeah.
Okay, so he feels afraid. What's he afraid of?
Well, he doesn't know. He sort of wakes
Constant.
up and his heart's racing, and he's like, oh, it's just happened before, and he's not sure
Okay, so definitely got bags under his eyes.
whether it's to do with her or just that the world's at war and it's everyone's feeling a bit glum.
Right. So what would she do if he wakes up and says, "Oh God, I'm feeling glum," or would he be the sort of person who wouldn't admit it?
Well, he built this house, so he goes out onto the veranda because that's his kind of like, this is this is what I've created. Like, I'm still here. This is fantastic. I remember how much I loved doing this.
So that
And when I
reassures him.
for reassurance, and standing out here, he kind of feels like he's a bit in charge of the world, like a captain on the
Okay.
bridge. Yeah.
Well, then that sounds to me like you're minimizing the drama, because we want him to struggle to get to that moment of feeling like, don't you want him to be thinking, oh, how on earth am I going to cope with this anxiety?
Yes, that's true. Instead of just getting out there and
Yeah, we need to
relieving it.
milk that drama and anxiety for a bit.
Okay. Well,
So,
one thought I had was if he was lying there just looking around the room,
yeah.
the wardrobe might be sort of looming a bit, might feel a bit sort of ominous until he's sort of, oh, it's just the wardrobe.
Oh, so what does he think it is? What could he think is ominous about it?
It's a person. He's like, was that a shot? Is that somebody in the corner of the room?
Okay.
And then he's thrown his clothes. I'm not sure I can do this, but he's thrown his clothes, so his shirt looks a bit like a person on the ground.
Ah, okay.
Oh,
So he's imagining bodies, and why is he?
You're getting rid of something really good there.
Oh yeah, what have I done? Oh dear. There we go.
I liked that. I thought you were getting rid of mine. That would be better.
No, I was just trying to get rid of the sky, and I just drifted off because I was grabbed by your story. So
okay.
He's imagining bodies or something.
And there's just a little bit of sun appearing.
Oh, good. Okay,
Yeah.
so then it's probably still a bit dark above, isn't it? I'll put in.
It's still a little bit dark, and
right.
This is just popping up. Yeah, he's thinking, is there an intruder?
Right.
What did I just hear, or was it? Is it just an echo from what I was dreaming?
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh gosh, look at that. That's so good. I wonder what they have on the wall behind them.
They'll have. What do you think they'd have? Oops, didn't mean to do that.
She's a little bit religious, and he isn't. So they might have something. She is. They might have like a cross, or yeah, they might. They might have.
It's over her side.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. And he might have. I think he probably wants a cigarette. He's probably got his pouch of tobacco, but I think it's out here somewhere.
Oh, right. Okay. So here is it. But does he have a cigarette or a cigar or what kind of thing?
Sorry?
Would he have cigarettes or a cigar or a pipe or?
He'd roll his own. He'd have Lucky Strikes and he'd roll his own.
Okay. I had no idea what that package would
Oh,
look.
it's just like a kind of tobacco. So he'd have a pouch with tobacco and the papers.
Is Lucky Strike the one that's got a red on it? I can't remember.
Does it? Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, we'll pretend that's Lucky Strike. But what I am missing in what you're telling me is human drama, because you're making him do all of the work. Whoops, sorry. Actually, that's quite nice. Yeah, yellow.
Yeah. The colour of the background can be his mood, can't it? So if you made it...
So you don't
which tool are you using to do that with?
I'm doing the bucket, which is just below the paintbrush on the left.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So if I use it, then it won't cover everything. But on the layer that you're on, it would obliterate everything. But
what if you just made it even darker?
Okay. Do you want it to be this yellow, or do you want it to be something slightly more? What's the colour of his mood?
Kind of bluey grey or a dark,
yeah.
I don't mind that. It feels to me like it's a bit pink at the moment. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, you can see the light now, can't you?
Yeah.
The sunrise.
What's happened? Oh, there we go. Oh, I like that.
So then I need to give her face some sort of vaguely human colour.
Yes.
So I'll do that. Here we go. Right. So, what I think what I was saying was I need to see them interact. I feel that's missing.
Yes, I agree.
So rather than have all the work done by him in trying to get the sort of human drama and the horror and the upset, you need him to tell her that he's seeing bodies in his shirt. And then
she try and wake her.
Yeah. And that obviously is going to really annoy her because she was having a nice sleep. So then you've got some conflict. And you could have her then kind of annoy him by just praying for him. And he's going, that's not what I need. I just need a cigarette. Oh, what happened? Oh, I think you've used a tool.
I tried to, yeah.
So then up on the top, with next to view, there's a going back to the left button, which undoes what you've just done.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
How do I get rid of just one? See that piece of blue?
So
that was the last.
Again.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
All right. Okay.
So then if you want to go to a layer below, you could choose layer number 2, and then you'll still keep the framework that you've put in there before.
Okay. Okay. So I wanted to try and draw the newspaper.
Oh, great.
Cast aside. So if I go click on this pencil, right, it's the eyedropper, and then take a colour like that, and then maybe it's on the bed too. Now see how it's filled in. It's not a line. That's
okay. So that's because you see on the right now under the colour wheel, where you have selected a pencil. And then below that, there is a size tool. So if you drag the size to be bigger or smaller, you can make the pencil a very fine line or a great big blodge.
Okay.
Technical word.
Okay, let's try again. All right, I'm even smaller, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to colour in your cupboard with a bit of thick pencil.
Okay. Okay.
So I imagine that if you're sort of creating this conflict, he's going to say something like wake up," or something. But what would he say?
He'd say, "Did you hear that?"
And then she would say,
"Oh, sorry, what's happening here? I've lost." She would say, "It's not even light."
Great.
What do you go back to sleep?
Yeah. And then what did he say?
He would say, "But I heard something."
Right, good. I like this. I'm already really enjoying it. I want all this hearing something.
Sorry?
I like all that I heard something, and I want him to tell her things that seem completely balmy to her. Like, I think that shirt on the floor is a dead body or something.
And yeah, I think he could say, it's just a cupboard, right? Or something. But
Yeah.
actually what I was thinking was he might hear something else outside, which is a possum or the owl or the cat. Maybe the cat runs past the door.
Okay.
And then she can say, it's just a cat.
Good. So you've got this kind of this creating the doubt in her and in his mind. Like, what is
yes.
Right. And what would she say? You've already in the drawing process, we've created these little things, we've noticed these things. So let's use those props. You've got dawn outside the window. What can they say about dawn? You've already touched on that because you said it's not even light. So that's good. And he could say, but I can see the sun coming.
Yes. Yes.
What else could be said thinking about the possibilities of what is visible on this drawing?
Well, she could say, you shouldn't read the paper before you go to bed.
Yeah.
It's all bad news. Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
And
what
then
would he say in reply to that?
Well, he could say, well, we can't hide from it.
Right.
It's everywhere. In fact, you were in the city yesterday and they had a conscription march. So, this reading the paper's nothing.
And then, so I'm going to challenge you, because I think that's all good, but I'm challenging you now to think more about even more of the use of the props. What else could you use that's in the room? You've got the cupboard, you've got the bed, you've got the cigarettes, you've got the cross.
The cross, did you say?
Yeah.
She could say, there's nothing you can do about any of that. So why worry? And he could say, well, if you choose to have the panacea of religion, or he wouldn't use those words, but
what would he say?
It stuck with him. What would he say? I think he might sort of get out of bed in a huff.
Right. So then that's a perfectly reasonable thing for you to do as a narrator, that he might well get out in a huff. But as storytelling, it potentially kills the tension.
Right.
You want them to have an argument.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah. So, well, he might say, she might say, well, why wouldn't I go to church? There's a lot of people to pray for. Yeah. And then he would say, you're not going there to pray. You're going there to look at what the other women are wearing.
Okay.
So it's a kind of a back and forth.
So the thing about a back and forth is they can be entertaining and they can have a lot of different kind of colour and flavour. But how do you raise the stakes and make it even higher? What can you adjust in the back and forth? I mean, I don't know, because they're not my characters, but I'd quite like the idea of her suddenly praying for him, for his soul.
Okay. Yeah. That well, that would annoy him.
Great.
So yes, that's good. So she might say, well, I'm praying for us.
Yeah.
And he's like, what do you mean us? Like,
I don't need that stuff.
I'm going for a surf. I don't need you to pray for me.
Yeah.
No.
But we mustn't let him go for the surf because it reduces the tension. So
Okay.
somehow she's got to stop him going.
Right.
Maybe an ultimatum. If you keep avoiding my prayers, then I'll, something.
Yeah. You should come with me today.
Yeah.
And he'll say, well, no, because I'm going for a surf.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a sort of an argument first thing in the morning.
Yeah, I think that with a situation like this, make them have the conflict and try to work out what is it in this scene or in any scene that either of them want. So, I mean, actually, she wants to go back to sleep, I would imagine.
Yeah.
And he probably does too. I'm just guessing, so correct me or just ignore it. He probably wants to go to sleep too, but has given up. He doesn't believe that he can. So now he wants human company in his wakefulness.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
reassurance. He desperately wants reassurance. But instead of reassuring him with whatever he wants, and I don't know what that would be, she keeps on telling him things that he doesn't want, like she's praying for him or he's got to go back to sleep. So if you keep on thinking, what is it that they want individually and how can you engineer a conflict between them about it? Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It's yeah. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that because I think where I'm stuck is I've sort of lobbed them forward.
Mm-hmm.
She's just found out in the chapter before that yet again she's not pregnant when they haven't had kids yet. Okay. She had a miscarriage at the beginning of the marriage and then she hasn't had a child.
Right.
And she just decided not to tell him she was even expecting this time. So she's been a bit sort of not herself.
She's secretive. It's not like
she's what?
She's actually being secretive and furtive, and she's not like some blank slate of virtue and sleepfulness. She's probably stressed out.
Yeah, that's right. Yes. So that would be.
Yeah, so then that makes me think she wants something from him. What does she want? She wants some kind of, what is it that you want from a husband in that situation?
I think she wants to sort of pretend everything's ordinary, like somehow for that just to have happened and she didn't tell him because she didn't want to go through all the emotion again. So she sort of would like things just to be, like him to just have everything without telling him somehow. Oh, that's good. That looks much better. Yeah.
It's nicely
it's
framed.
A lot of fun.
Yeah. So, but that's really, really helpful to me anyway, just as a spectator. And I don't know about you as the writer, but what I'm getting is that you've actually got this great insight into what they want. And as long as you can make sure that they don't quite give it to each other, then you create the drama for the next scene. So he desperately wants reassurance about something or other, not quite sure what, but he's not sleeping, he's stressed, he's anxious. He thinks the answer is to go surfing or whatever, but that's not going to solve his problem. We all know that.
Yeah.
She's not telling him the truth. She's not being open and honest with him. So there's a great irony there. If she asks him to do that to her, and then that's very interesting to watch and to hear.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, maybe.
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
I was going to say maybe what she would want in a small way is, well, why don't you go and get me a cup of tea?
Right.
It's like, I'm not going to tell you what's wrong with me, but I want you to sort of look after me.
Yes.
And then I think he wouldn't get a cup of tea. He'd go out and have a cigarette instead, and then it's on again.
I'm one of the I'm quite sort of keen to make sure this is bounded the way that it should be with the time and everything, because I think it just makes it clearer. But one of the things that I find useful about this exercise is that you've slightly taken your mind off something by drawing. I don't know if that's your experience.
Yes, yeah.
And I hope that you can see that you could do that any time. And also by drawing, you have to invent the props that are most important.
Right. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
in
no,
a
that's
way, sorry, yeah, go on.
it's very interesting to draw it. You know what it reminds me of looking at it? I'm sure you know the artist Edward Artizone.
Oh yeah, I love his drawings. Yeah,
And I used to love when I was a kid those Tim books.
yeah, they're
And
brilliant.
now I've got a grandson. I can't interest him in them yet. He's too young.
Right.
But I've been looking again at the way he illustrated
They're
the
lovely,
characters. It's extraordinary.
Mm.
Well, the way you've done the man kind of reminds me of that. He always got the face.
He's very much an influence on me, Artizone. I mean, I didn't consciously think of that, but I think he's probably in the back of my mind. But what I'd like to know is what so there's a kind of a health warning with this, which is that yes, you could draw things and then you'll have lots of props, but I think you have to keep on reminding yourself to use those props to engineer a human encounter.
Okay.
So it's not about just name checking the cross or name checking the cupboard. He's got to say, there's a dead body in the cupboard, and she's got to say, oh, Jesus, help my husband. So these things are they're tools to give you human drama.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And,
yeah. No,
and
that's great.
And one of the engines of the drama is going to be, you could do a draft in your head of them actually saying out loud what they want. He's saying, I want you to be kind to me because I'm feeling this. She's saying, I want you to look after me because I've just, not had a child or whatever. And then, of course, in real life, people don't say the things they really want to say. They cover it with something else. So instead of saying those words, she says, please get me a cup of tea. But what she really wants to is, so the drama's kind of written by saying what they really want and then translating it into everyday prose.
Right. Yeah. Yep. No, that's great. Yeah. Look, this has been really fun.
Oh, good. Thank you.
It's such a luxury to have, because I saw the drawing you had on the, on the ad for it, and I, for some reason, thought we might be doing some sort of collage with magazines or something, which would have been fun as well. But this is amazing. You've brought to life the very scene I'm struggling with, and I'm hoping I can somehow print that. I don't know if I can.
You can, yes. If you go on the top left to File.
Oh, yes.
And then under File, it says Save, I think.
Oh, yes, yep.
And so it should download to your computer somewhere.
New drawing, open file. Oh, maybe it's in here. I'm not sure if it has or not. How would I know?
I can download it and email it to you.
Oh, that'd be brilliant.
So that's definitely going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm really glad. Thank you.
That was so much fun. Thank you. And it's lovely to see you again.
Great to see you too. I was so pleased when I saw your name on the inbox. Yeah.
Well, you've been really busy because you've got so many things on offer there.
I'm really
I was like,
myself.
wow, this is a creative mind at work in a very short time.
Thank you. It feels to me like I've taken a very long time getting it all up there, but I'm going to do more and more of them, and really grateful to you. Is it okay if I post the video on my site?
Is it going to be, yeah, sure, but is it a picture of me looking like an idiot?
I think it's going to be a picture of you looking really engaged creatively, but I'll send it to you first, and then it'll be hidden, but you can see it, and then you can say no if you don't want me to.
I'll almost certainly say yes, but I would like to see it if I could.
Cool, sure, of course.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic. That was so much fun.
I love it. Thanks.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.